And all of that is gone. You know, and back then, if you got a cold, you put a little Vicks vapor rub on your fucking chest, and that was it. Now what do they got? Huh? Jesus Christ. I mean, if they can hold off the HIV virus now. You'd think that they could fucking, do something about the cold, but you always pay a price. There's always a price to pay. You know, always pay. You know, who's the battered fucking wife of your organs is your fucking liver. Your liver always takes it. You know what I mean? You fuck up in other areas, and then you take your medicine, right? You're a scatterbrained lunatic. You can't get to sleep, so you take some Tylenol PM, and who pays for it, huh? Your fucking liver. How many times are you going to have your liver have to walk around with its eyes looking down at your fucking colon, as the other fucking organs are going, what happened? I walked into the ribs. Is he making light of domestic violence? Yes, I am. I think that's the problem with this country. There needs to be more domestic violence. We actually live in an era that someone wouldn't even look at that even remotely as fucking absurd. And in an era where I can't say the word anymore. People on like the internet will just take that clip and they try to get you in trouble. You know what I mean? Everybody's ratting everybody out. Like, I really looked at that fucking Conor McGregor thing. What was that guy videotaping it for? And then he fucking puts it up on the fucking internet and just gets this guy in all this fucking trouble. I'm not saying Conor McGregor was right, but like, who's this fucking... Like, if I was there, I wouldn't videotape that shit. I would just be like, wow, I'm glad I wasn't on that bus, right? I mean, that guy's the reason everybody on that bus is making fucking $1 zillion anyways, isn't he? You can't every once in a while throw a fucking two-wheeler at a goddamn bar. I mean, if you're the fucking champ, you don't get a little bit of leeway. All it takes is one fucking douche with his flip phone, and all of a sudden, he's down there talking to the cops. I don't know what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ, I love all these people taking the bait on that fucking Kanye West shit. He obviously has an album coming out, you fucking morons. Relax. Has he lost his mind? Didn't you learn anything with that Beyonce album? Well, she was acting like she was all annoyed with Jay-Z. And that there were all these problems and, what the fuck? And everybody just starts gossiping. And everybody buys the fucking album and they're still together. How many fucking times you going to jump on the hook? He's obviously recording a fucking album. There's no more MTV. Billboards are a lot of fucking money. Why don't you just start saying some crazy shit that makes no fucking sense? And then people will listen to your next album. I'm going to fucking do that. Get my podcast numbers up. What the fuck can I'm going to just start saying positive shit about women. I think the real problem, beyond global warming and that swirl of trash out in the Pacific Ocean, even worse than ISIS. Oh, I got a text message. I dropped the phone. Jesus Christ. Tiki Barber. Pick it up, Bill, for Christ's sake. Shut this fucking thing off. I think the biggest problem, beyond ISIS, and ISIS is a major problem. I mean, they're just like the Third Reich, if the Third Reich had no planes or boats, or really any technology. Is white male heterosexuals and their microaggression, which is why I have decided, I can't even do this because you guys are going to fucking retweet this thing. And next thing you know, it'll be some fucking, I don't want to get involved in that. I was going to say that I've decided, no, I can't say it because everyone's going to get all fucking upset. It rhymes with mansition. That would be the ultimate, right? If you did that. It'd be funny if you did that, like as a sign of solidarity with all the pain that women have been through, that you actually went through with the sex change operation. And then everybody called you a hero, and then Diane Sawyer interviewed you, and they made you Woman of the Year. And then after all that cleared, all these women came forward and said you were grabbing ass and titties all through the 90s and 2000s. And then you'd be like, well, I didn't do that. That was Frank. I'm Francis. And I just feel like for me. Right? And then you're on the other side of the issue. And they'd be like, well, isn't Frank still in there? And you could be like, well, I left Frank on that fucking operating table. I never was Frank. Frank is my white slave name given to me by my white parents. Jesus Christ. Why I think we bombed Syria. Oh, good for you. Help me out here. Oh, Bill Baldbag. I believe we blew their chemical weapon plants up because they gassed little kids. Okay. Just a guess of what I read. I think you overly simplified it. I think some kids also died. But if we're going to start doing that, buddy, if we're going to start bombing people because they gassed people or bombed people and killed little kids, if everybody who does that is a piece of shit, I don't know how well we come out in the wash there, pal. Just a guess from what I've read. But you're not allowed to say that, because if you do, that means you're in ISIS. You're not allowed to criticize anything and be like, what the fuck are we doing? But I do understand your fear of debt. Love the cast and your work. As unimportant as it may seem, we couldn't live without laughing. Peace. Okay, man. You got your sundress on there. Yeah, okay, I understand that. Syria, okay, what they did was horrifically wrong. But, shouldn't we have a lot more of our ducks in a row before we start policing the fucking world? Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? If we're going to fucking bomb those guys because they gas little kids, that sounds good. But, at what point were they going to fucking shoot some missiles at the people who poisoned our food supply? That food supply that we're now trying to sell around the world, and people are like, you're not bringing that shit in our country. Do you know they're saying that about our food in like France and India? France is like, all right, but you're going to have to say what's in it. And we're like, no, we're not. There's no way we're going to say what's in our food. How fucked up is that? And I got to try to navigate those waters with my kid. And there's no explanation to it. There's no, well, listen, man, if you want to somehow make 300 people not starve to death, you got to cut some corners. Then I understand it, but there's nothing. They're not saying anything. They're like, shut the fuck up and eat it. I don't know. The key in this world to making it is you got to make so much money you can donate to politicians' campaigns, and then they just fucking leave you alone. And you can do whatever you want. Like poison the food supply of a country, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a terrorist act. When you then become an evildoer, dude, I'm fat. This is all shit you're not allowed to say. If you can say it about anybody else, but if you actually fucking have constructive criticism about your own team, you're immediately a conspiracy theorist or you're a socialist. I don't understand. I don't know when the fuck that happened, but it's brilliant PR. So evidently I'm a communist right now. Oh, Billy Ray's got a red beard. I mean, it's all right there. Probably jerks off to Stalin's fucking headshot every morning. How dare he want healthy food for everyone in his country? Navy training in Australia. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the last fucking place I would be in the goddamn Navy is Australia. Oh, my God. What do you have to do to become a fucking Navy SEAL in Australia? You have to stab a great white shark to death after they cut you. They probably make you bleed before you get in the fucking water. All right. Hey, Bill, just watched voice clip. I think that voice clip of you on YouTube about how you watched the 2 weeks in hell thing. I was in the Australian Navy and it was similar, but you got shit for not keeping your own. I don't know what that means. Preface. This was before the media cared about all genders. We had Big Bertha which on the second day of recruit school, we were kept up until 2 a.m. and were only allowed a breakfast bar the night before. They woke us up by smashing trash cans in each of our dorms. Right there, I'd be out. I'd be like, dude, fuck this. And I'd walk out. They'd be like, good, you're too weak. And I'd be like, you're right. I'm going to a Holiday Inn. I want to thank all of you for protecting me in my 8 hours sleep. All right. Then we had to run downstairs and carry the rope called Big Bertha, which was the equivalent, oh my God, of the old ship's anchor lines. And we ran for about 6 kilometers, 3.7 miles. What the fuck? Until we were allowed to have food. After that, anyone that couldn't continue, we were partnered up with and had to carry them and Big Bertha, shaming the people that couldn't continue. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Dude, were they up on the rope weeping? Did they literally get broken that bad? And when we eventually got back to base, we were allowed breakfast and then had to go on with the 8-hour drills and fulfill our duty watches. Wow, dude, that is some psychological breakdown right there. Holy shit. The most fucked up thing about all of this. Hey, wait, dude, did you make it through all of this? Oh, my God. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to be me? Has your girlfriend ever said that to you when you're thinking about that Big Bertha march? Was this... Okay, this was in 0203, and the Australian Defence Force, our military, God forbid we seem aggressive, oh, you say Defense Force, had instituted a policy where females could only be treated or ordered for so many hours a day. So handing AVs-gas helicopter fuel, so handling, helicopter fuel was only be performed by men because it caused impotence in women, but also men. But females could hold positions on the... Yeah, but they can also make a baby, and they know anybody will fuck them. So your dick and your balls are expendable at that point. That's simple math. But females could hold positions on the helo refuel team. Well, that doesn't make sense. But when it came to actually handling fuel, they get volunteer males to do it. After dealing with shit like being blamed because my ship couldn't get any new workers from land because the ship was a fucking grinder, and being in charge of people when I haven't even been promoted, I decided to just start drinking so much I got kicked off, and it was my best decision ever. This is like a great movie. Spent my last year of my contract at a base in a rich part of Sydney, Australia, surfing in the morning and banging a few of the new female sailors that, all over 21, he puts in parentheses, that had never been to sea. My proudest moment was when I was awarded the Humanitarian Aid Medal because I built hospitals in Sumatra after the 2005 tsunami. I spent days helping and building, and the people of Sumatra were some of the most thankful and kindest people I ever met. Oh, what a fucking great story that is. Oh my God, can you imagine if you quit? Like how tired you'd have to be, how excruciatingly tired you have to be to climb up on that rope and be carried back 3.7 miles. I just have to go mentally with every step. This humiliation is one step closer to being over. What do you say when you get off? Good day, mate. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'm fucking... Oh, my God. I can't imagine what people said to you on the way back.